Hello and welcome back to my channel. I was just sat in bed thinking it has been forever since I did a YouTube. So here I am, impromptu video, still in my PJs, just made my morning coffee. Today is like a pretty standard day for me. It's Monday, it's the first day back at work. Now, if you're new here, I am a fitness coach, so I spend the majority of my time in my office, not really doing anything fun or anything that you guys would think is fun. I basically just talk to my clients, create content for our educational portals, do check-ins, and today is my biggest check-in day. So I'm just going to walk you guys through like my training today, what I eat, what I do. You might enjoy it, you might find it boring. It's literally just my life, and I thought I would share it with you guys because I don't know what it is. I just feel like I've really fallen out of love with like Instagram and stuff at the moment. Like I feel like it's really difficult for me to get like my personality across. Like I feel like I'm just having a content block. So I thought if I just like do some YouTube, it might inspire me to realize that like the things that I do day to day that I just think are like dead easy, like hitting my calories, getting to the gym, like obviously a lot of other people struggle with that. So if you can see me doing it and think it's easy, then hopefully it will inspire you to get that. I've just made my morning coffee. This is a oat milk latte. The best thing that you can do if you like oat milk lattes is get one of these milk frothers and froth it how I just frothed it. Super cheap, you can pick it up off of Amazon for a couple of quid. But I'm gonna go take Jacob his morning coffee now as well because I made him one too. I don't know if he's gonna like it because he usually has skimmed milk, but we will see. So usually we would wake up and go to the gym first thing in the morning, but our building actually has a fire alarm on today from 10 till 11. So what we've done today is we've basically swapped around our day. So we're actually getting up, having a coffee, we're gonna go walk to the food shop and we're gonna get our food shopping for the week, which is actually super exciting because I can show you guys like how I go to the shop and like think about what food I'm gonna get and stuff, which I think will be so helpful. But right now I'm literally just getting back to messages from clients because obviously with me shuffling my work day around, it'll just mean that I can get that block of work done, go out, do my food shopping, do my training, come back, set on with check-ins rather than just pushing it all off till later, because I hate procrastination. If I start procrastinating, I just get so anxious and I just think the worst has happened, and literally nothing bad has happened at all. If you are a procrastinator, don't do it because it does not make your life any easier. Get up, get it done, get it out the way, and then the rest of the day you can just chill. Back from the shop literally with 8 minutes to spare until the fire alarm goes off, which is not ideal. So I'm going to take you guys through my shopping quickly before the alarm starts blaring. So first things first, whenever I go to the shop, I always make like in my mind like a idea of how I'm going to structure my food. So I'll decide what I'm having for like lunch, dinner, breakfast. To be fair, my pre-workout and my post-workout never ever change anyway, and they shouldn't if you want to have very good results. Now, if you have followed me on here or on Instagram for a while, you will know that I used to be a beige babe, and the way that I broke that was basically slowly introducing veggies and fruit that I like into my diet, like one at a time. It was kind of like what you would do when you introduce food to a child, but here we are. Now, the veggies that I really love are peppers, avocado, and edamame. I picked these up from the shop because they're like a staple in all of my meals. To be fair, I don't even know if this is a fruit, like is avocado a fruit or is it a vegetable? I am not sure. But then coming into the rest of the little bits and bobs I got some rice noodles, rice cakes, cashews, yogurt, and I also got some chicken and some mince. I also picked up some lentils and some chickpeas. So my meals are going to be oat cookie for breakfast, obviously already have the oats, so none of that is pictured here. Then I am having my usual toast. Oh shit, where's my bread? Oh. I also got some bread. Then I'm having toast, avocado and eggs post-workout, which I always have. And then I'm going to be having a yogurt bowl, with some fruit and nuts. Then I'm going to have a chicken stir fry with the vermicelli noodles that I've got. Then for dinner I will have the chickpea minced bolognese thing. I don't know if I'll have it with some rice or if I'll just have it like on its own, like, or maybe with some tacos, I'm not sure. But then for my dessert, I'm going to be using the Ninja Creamy. Super simple. I usually just have almond milk, cocoa powder and some chocolate like protein powder. Super tasty, dead simple. It's like 100 calories, but it's just a nice way to end the day with something like little ice cream. I would definitely recommend to always pre-plan what you're going to eat, because it doesn't break the bank that way. Like, you're not going to go in and get distracted. I am such a person who will go in and be like, oh, this is on offer, I'm going to buy it. Kind of like what I did with these chickpeas and lentils, to be fair, they were reduced. But I knew that I was going to be having like a spaghetti bolognese, so I was like, oh, that'll kind of go. But if I hadn't have gone in, like, I might not have even been able to make the meals that I need to reach my goals, because I would have just got distracted and then I would have got home and I would have just thought, oh, shit, I've not got something. So highly recommend. We actually did go to 3 different shops to get our food, because Jacob goes to shop in Viva, and then I shop in a shop called Lulu and a shop called Grandiose. So we did the miles. I think we've done like 10k steps already, and it is not even 10 a.m. and I've got to train legs, which will be fun. But I'm gonna have breakfast now and I'm gonna show you guys how to make my oat cookie. So annoyingly throughout all of this, the footage was really blurred, but I basically have 40 grams of oats, 20 grams of whey protein and some toffee drops, mix it all together, and then I whack 10 grams of jam on top. It is the perfect pre-workout snack and you will love it. Me and Jacob are choosing to ignore it because it's a drill, and on the sign it says participation is encouraged but not mandatory. So unfortunately we didn't make it to the gym in time because of how long it took us to go shopping. This is the cookie. It is so good, literally, I cannot recommend. You can also make these like the night before and stuff as well, so if you're just in a rush and you just need to like get out of the house in the morning. I know a lot of people can start work really early. If you don't like overnight oats, which I don't really like overnight oats if I'm honest, an oat cookie is the way to go. The fire alarm is going off. This is the outfit for the day. We've got underactive shorts, Gymshark sports bra. I literally live in these sports bras. I don't know why I said that. I live in these sports bras. I literally love them, cannot recommend enough. Probably not the best if you are gifted with a bigger bust, but for us smaller girlies, they are very good. I'm gonna go make my creamy now, because top tip, if you have a Ninja Creamy or if you're thinking about getting one, you have to make sure that it is frozen for like a really long time. So you have to pre-make it in the morning or the night before, because if not, it will not be done in time, and then there's nothing more depressing than looking forward to your creamy all day and it not being melted properly. I am a meal behind on schedule and I did not realise how absolutely ravenous I was going to be. So I have got 2 rice cakes with some hummus and my pump pre-workout. Hopefully this is going to push me through legs, because obviously we thought that we were going to be training at 10 a.m. and it is 10:50 and I'm hungry. Usually by now obviously I would have had like my oat cookie, and then I would have had I would literally be getting back from the gym now, like ready for my second meal. So like my body knows that I should be eating my second meal right now. So we're honouring those hunger cues. I've got some rice cakes with some hummus. We should be good. Wish me luck. So just to walk you guys through what you should do before legs. Everyone has like different preferences of like what exercises / warm-ups they do. Like some people obviously prefer different dynamic stretches, but essentially you want to be going for some dynamic stretches which open up your hips and basically just get the blood flowing, because if we go straight into our exercises, we're just going to potentially get injured, which is obviously not something that we want, especially if you're like me and you currently already have an injury. There's nothing worse than like having lots of injuries. Like, we'd rather just be nice and warm. Luckily, this time around in my build, I usually struggle with sciatica, not something that's been happening to date. So I definitely put this down to the fact that I didn't used to warm up. It was very naughty of me, but here I am, learning from my mistakes so that you don't have to make them. This is something that Jacob calls the stripper stretch. Not a clue what would make him think of that, but we will leave that up to the imagination. So nice hip openers, always just get the blood flowing, and then obviously from here we go into our exercises. It is a deload week for me currently, which I will explain to you guys in a moment why I am doing a deload. So this week I am actually having a deload week because I am pretty injured. This usually tends to happen obviously when you're like building your calories up, which is what I've been doing for a really long time now. Like, naturally, if you get a bit too strong too quick, which thankfully is what's been happening, obviously not thankfully because now I'm injured, but like I have been getting stronger, which has been great. So to try and combat the fact that obviously my body just needs a little bit of time to keep up, I am now officially having a deload week. So on a deload week, I basically am stripping the weight right back. I am like adding resistance bands, like you can see here. I'm just going to like failure, but not lifting really, really heavy. Obviously, this still stimulates the muscle because I'm still training to failure, but it's a lot less like load on the muscle. So even though it's the intensity is there, it's going to be a lot safer. So like failure for me right now, obviously due to the fact that I have got a few niggles, is not going to be like complete failure as if I was not injured. Like, it's going to be a couple of reps in reserve, just because obviously naturally it's going to be a bit uncomfortable sometimes. Like, basically I've got bicep tendonitis, but it's like all the way down my arm. So even when I'm doing like leg stuff, you know, like holding an RDL, squatting, like where the pressure is, like it can be really, really, really uncomfortable. So that's why the deload is in place this week. I'm actually completely removing my upper body sessions this week, and I'm doing Stairmaster and abs in place of them so that I've still got some kind of movement. But we're in here for a leg day, so that's always handy. But like I said, I'm going to take you guys through my set right here now. So one thing that I always do is like a little shuffle, so just getting into place. Like, even that just feels like a little bit uncomfortable on my shoulder, so I'm just going to take it easy. The worst thing that you can do when you are injured is completely avoid movement altogether, because this just actually causes you to seize up. So the best thing that you can do is train through it, but obviously don't be stupid. The reason why doctors usually tell you to rest is because they don't want you to go away, hurt yourself, come back and go, well, the doctor told me to do it, because obviously that is a legal case that no doctor wants. So usually a doctor will just say go home and rest. But if you actually ask like a physio or someone who actually is a sports coach, they will always tell you the worst thing that you can do is completely avoid training whatsoever. Even if it's just some light stretching, whatever it may be, it makes the world of difference. So we're going in with the hack squat. I'm not putting any weight on it at all today, just really light reps. Obviously I've got a bit of movement in my muscles now, so I'll be going in for my working sets. Something that I recommend as you get stronger in your build, you are going to really struggle to do your compounds back to back and continue to progress on them. But this is something that I used to always beat myself up about, but what I've started to do recently is put a isolation in between my two compounds, and it has just changed the game for me. Like, it just gives the muscle like a little bit of time to just rest from doing something so big, because obviously compounds, you're using a lot of different muscles, so you're going to fatigue, whereas with an isolation you're just using like one muscle in particular. So what I usually do in between my hack squat and my hip thrust, just to give my body like a bit of a rest, I will do some glute cable kickbacks, really low intensity. It just allows my legs to recover for my next big compound. Cannot recommend enough. If you're not doing it already, then make sure that you have a little bit of a shuffle around with your plan and thank me about it later. Now, cable kickbacks are an exercise that everyone like gets so beefy about. Like, they literally say, I don't feel them in my glute, like I don't feel them anywhere, like my hips hurt, I just feel it in the leg that I'm standing on, I don't feel it where I'm meant to feel it, what can I do? Now, the first thing that I will always say to someone, if that's how you feel about cable kickbacks, is take all the weight right down, get your leg. Now, the usual things that people tend to do wrong is they're either too upright, so like when you go like this, you have like an arch in your back, or when they go out like this, they like twist their body. Now, when you're doing a cable kickback, your hips should always be like in the same position. The only thing that's moving is your legs. Now, the next thing that I want you to do is I really want you to just like get parallel with the floor, like literally just bend over for lack of a better word, and then when you come back, as you can see, my back is still like completely straight. Like, the only kind of arch is the bunda. Like, my actual back does not move whatsoever. My hips are in the exact same place, my core is nice and braced, and literally fab. Now, there's a few different things that you can do. If you prefer, you can keep your legs straighter, you can bend it if you prefer to do that. You can go outwards like that if you feel it more in your glutes like that. It's whatever really works for you, and that's like being a PT on the gym floor for such a long period of time. That's why I know now when you see people on Instagram and they're like, do this exercise in this way, otherwise your glutes are never going to grow. Everybody's body and everybody's ergonomics are so fucking different. So there's not one way that works for everybody. You just have to do whatever feels good for you. So I've got a little bit of weight on it now, so we've got a little bit of resistance. Something that I'll always say as well is with any exercise, it's the stretch where you put the muscle under tension the most. So when you're doing a cable kickback, really try and get that stretch in there, because that's where the glutes are stretching. It's not the actual like bit up here that's growing them, it's this bit down here. Like, this is where the magic happens. And like I said, hips don't move, nice and tight. Whew. I am going to put some music on right now because doing these without music is boring, so catch you in the next video. So my next is a hip thrust, but because it is deload week, we have stripped the weight right back. We are at 40 kg and we are doing reset hip thrust. So this basically means where you bring the bar all the way down, you reset and brace your core, and you come back up. Now, if you are struggling to progress on hip thrusts, like maybe you've got to a certain weight and you're just not getting any like stronger on these, I would highly recommend doing reset hip thrusts. Hip thrusts are a compound movement, so you use a lot of your core, and sometimes your core is failing before the rest of like your muscles, so that's why you're not able to progress on it. Usually people tend to be the weakest in the actual getting the barbell up into position, so if you practice the reset, then it will actually mean that you can progress quicker further down the line. Quick fire question. Hi. He's a 10 but.
Wait, no,
The pressure, I did just put you under pressure.
squats was shit form.
That's a true one. That is a good one. That is a good one.
Or he...
Oh, there's more.
Or he lifts with running shoes. That's
Oh, yeah. Soft shoes.
all lazy.
I feel like you've got a lot to say.
You want me to keep coming with him? He's a 10, but I think that's all actually.
He has no calves. Ooh. It's my friend Chen. She is doing squats next to me. I'm doing hip thrusts. You're
into the camera. That's such a good angle.
no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna position it there. Can you imagine?
Oh my god, hi.
Hello, here's my vagina. I tell you something, if you think that you're good at hip thrusts, do reset hip thrusts and then come back to me because it is humbling. Ooh. My final exercise of the day is a cable step up. A lot of people think that you need a lot of exercises to make progress. If you personally, in my opinion, have like lots and lots and lots of exercises, you're really not pushing yourself to failure. Usually I have like 4 to 5 exercises in my leg workouts, and that's pretty much like all I can do really, like as a more advanced lifter. Like obviously if you're new to training, you're probably better off with volume because obviously you're just getting used to everything. You're not going to be really pushing yourself to failure properly. But as you start to get more advanced and you actually learn what going to failure actually is, it's very, 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 very difficult to do more than 4 to 5 leg exercises in a workout. Obviously upper body, you're probably going to be able to have a little bit more volume because obviously it's just not as like taxing as obviously training legs is, because when you do your upper, like you're not really touching your legs at all, whereas when you're doing your legs you're also using your upper body quite a bit as well. So last exercise, cable step up, and we are going in. Cable step up, in my opinion, is an absolutely elite movement for training your glutes. And obviously it's isolateral, so you're gonna end up, and obviously it's unilateral, so you're gonna have a nice even set of glutes. So the main thing that I would say when it comes to doing your cable step up is really focus on stepping back and keeping your knee parallel to your ankle as much as you possibly can. This machine is perfect because obviously you can hold on to the like handle in front, but usually with a cable you can hold on to something anywhere. Now I always do reset, but when I actually push back up, I'm not using any of that back foot whatsoever. I just like to reset so I can really get the stretch. Honestly, if you're not doing this movement, then you are sleeping on it, in my opinion. Ugh. So tough. Like my glutes right now are on fire. It's also really important as well to remember to only let your knee go in the direction of your toes. We don't want our knees coming in or going out at all. That's really, really, really bad for your joints. Whew. This is so much harder than I'm probably making it look. Did you have a good session?
I had a very good session.
Yeah, what did you train?
Across the board. Look at that tray.
What did you train? I can't tell. I just said to Chen, I said, he's a 10, but, and she said, he doesn't train legs. I'm just going to do some abs. Are you skipping abs? You don't do abs on a chest day. What do you do? When do you do abs? Let's do some hanging ones.
I can't lift my arms.
Oh, I think I just pulled my chest. I think I just pulled a muscle. I've never done hanging leg raises before. Oh, at least I'm not skipping abs. Oh my goodness. I'm back from the gym now and I have literally probably just had one of like the best sessions in ages, and now I'm going to make some avocado on toast. But before I do that, I am going to have some electrolytes and some creatine. Someone actually told me that the water in Dubai, like even when you get it from bottles, like it's not, you know, like when you get it in England and it's from like a valley and it's all purified and all that stuff. So basically in Dubai it is like seawater, and like it's obviously filtered, all the salt is like taken out of it, but it doesn't hydrate you in the same way that a normal like tap water from the UK would. So the water quality isn't like great. So even though you can be drinking loads of water, you're not getting the benefits of being hydrated. So I started taking electrolytes when I got here, and I actually don't feel as thirsty, especially when you take like creatine and stuff as well. Like creatine naturally takes the water to your muscles, like that's the whole point in creatine, and obviously that makes you thirsty. But then when you have your electrolytes with them, it's a clever trick. So I'm having 5 grams of creatine. You basically want to be having like 1 gram of creatine per 10 kg of body weight, lean body weight I would say. And then obviously with my electrolytes, these are great. Everybody always asks me which ones these are. These are the Jump, J-U-N-P, Jump, like jump but with an N. And these are in grape and I absolutely love them. So I have this post-workout first thing because obviously I need to get hydrated after my session. Even though I've been drinking loads throughout, obviously you sweat, right? And you need to make sure that you're hydrated after training. And obviously creatine, the best time to take it is post-workout or intra-workout. Anytime around your training is really good. So we're making that now. Here we have our electrolyte and creatine post-workout concoction. Yum. Now sometimes with creatine I find that if I don't eat at the same time, it can make me feel like a little bit nauseous. So if creatine makes you feel like a bit sicky, always pair it with your post-workout meal, which is why I'm having my avocado on toast now, but I'm just gonna wash my hands because germs. Tell you what guys, today is not going quite to plan. I am very much behind on schedule. I'm literally just about to have my lunch now. I haven't even started my check-ins. Sometimes days be like this, but the easiest thing to do when you're super busy is just not prioritize fuel in your body and not prioritize eating. Please, your brain is a muscle, it needs fuel. So make sure that you, even if it's like pre-planning your food for when you're busy. Obviously I work from home, so I never really meal prep anymore, so here I am. But if you work in an office, pre-plan, meal prep, make sure that you're all good to go. Slow cooker on a Sunday, who doesn't love that? Obviously order something just from somewhere. Like if it worst comes to the worst, get yourself a Subway salad or something. Like just make sure that you are fueling your body 110%. I'm actually making some meal prep right now, to be fair, because this week is going to be a busy week. So I'm practicing what I'm preaching, and I'm making a chili, and then I'm going to portion it into like 4 different portions. The chili base is tomato. I've got some chickpeas in it, some lentils, and yeah, I'm a bit behind on schedule. I'm trying not to get stressed. I'll show you guys what it's like when I've made it, because it doesn't look very nice whilst it's getting made. Something that my clients always get really confused about is, do you weigh your food before or after? Now, you should always be weighing your food pre-cooking, because if you don't, then you're just going to get yourself into a bit of a pickle where you've probably made too much or you've probably made too little. So always pre-weigh it before, but then when it comes to portioning it out, you weigh it as I have here, and then you basically divide it into your portions. Now, you don't track this, like this is just you weighing it after to know how many portions you divide it into. Obviously, when you actually pre-plan, you would just pre-plan it into like 1/4. So for example, for me, I've got like 400 grams of chili into 4/4, that's 100 grams in each. Obviously, when you weigh it cooked, it's going to be very, very different to weighing it raw, but that doesn't mean that the ingredients have changed. It's still 100 grams of mince per portion if I distribute it properly, and that's why weighing it post cooking is really important, so that you can evenly distribute the food throughout the 4 days, and then that way you're not having one big portion one day, one small portion another day, and your energy balance is always going to be consistent. Catching you guys up from my desk, I am literally drowning in work right now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 check-ins left from the team, and I'm just having a snack, some skyr yogurt with some toffee drops, my protein toffee drops in it, and some cashew nuts, just hormone health and gut health. Final meal of the day before I have my creamy is vermicelli noodles with edamame and chicken with some teriyaki sauce. These noodles look a little bit questionable, like I'm not gonna lie, like what the hell, like why do they look like that? But I'm hopeful that they taste nice, because I cannot be bothered to cook anything else. This is literally, what time is it, Jacob? It's 20 to 8. Like I said, my day has been a lot longer than it usually would be. Like I like to be clocked off my laptop by like 7 p.m. and unwinding, and I definitely don't usually have my dinner this late, but things happen. Like I said earlier, life is hectic, but we're gonna have some noodles now. Guys, it's the next day. I filmed that and I had no sound on my camera. I'm so fuming, but I basically ended the day with my Ninja Creamy and it was delicious as always. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I will catch you in the next one. I will be back. Mwah.